Section 3.6a, page 2. First page, absolute value can either be a positive or negative. You got two possibilities. I put the absolute value on this one on the right-hand side. It doesn't matter. My question is this absolute value by itself?
Yes.
Yes, the absolute value is by itself. All right? I know there's stuff inside it, but still the absolute value is by itself. So, how many numbers are 4 units away from 0? 2. So here's what we do. Negative 4 equals x minus 7, exactly what's inside, or positive 4 equals x minus 7. Now, I need to box these on my thing because I'm just trying to illustrate to you one key idea. The x minus 7 doesn't do plus and minus. What did the plus and minus? The part that was outside. But the inside stays the same. Now let's solve each one. How do you get rid of a minus 7? So add 7. Who's good at adding negatives and positives? All right, Nate, what's negative 4 plus 7?
Okay, well, negative 4 plus 7 is 3.
Good. All right, other side, somebody else. Plus 7, what do I get? 11 equals x. Now, back to Luke before, when you talked about putting things in order. Now I don't have a negative and a positive. I have 2 positives. So what's going to come first? 3. Okay, so put them in the correct order. So Anthony, here's an example of, not both of them are negative and positive, so you got to just put them in the right order. Okay? When do I break it up? When the absolute value is by itself. Look at example 8. Is the absolute value by itself?
No.
No. So I got to do some things first before I can make the split. Give me some thoughts. Someone besides Jonathan, Anthony, Luke, and Nate. Katie.
You add 4.
All right, I like that add 4. Everyone do a plus 4. So I get 2, absolute value x plus 2 equals 20. Good start, Katie. Next step. John. Excellent. Divide both sides by 2. Absolute value x plus 2 equals 10. Look at the problem now. Look at example 7. Is where we are right now similar to where we started number 7? Okay? So we're now to the point where we kind of were over there. Anthony, your question was what?
Would it just be x?
Well, these two 2's cancel. Good question. Scotty?
Minus 2.
No, not yet. Now, we're going to split it up. X plus 2 equals negative 10. Or x plus 2 equals positive 10. I do agree you're going to do the minus 2, but you split it up, guys, when its absolute value is by itself. So at this point, you split it. So here we go. As you said, Scotty, minus 2 minus 2. Scotty, what's negative 10 minus 2? Negative 12. Over here, minus 2 minus 2. Scotty, what's 10 minus 2? 8. So my 2 answers, negative 12, positive 8. You see that middle part that I circled? That step to get to there is kind of like the halfway point. It's like halftime. You get to there, and then you split into two parts and solve it from there. Now, with inequalities, we didn't have a really good way to check. With equalities, like this is, there is a way to check. So I just want to show you on this one how you would check. All right? I'm going to recopy the original problem. But where the x is, I'm going to put a parentheses. Which of these 2 answers do you want to try to see if one works? 8. I heard 8 first, so I'm going to put in 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. What's absolute value of 10? 10. What's 10 times 2? 20. And what's 20 minus 4? So does it check?
Yes.
Yeah. If you're not sure, a good thing to check, Sydney, is often going to be the smaller number, because that's the number that's going to push you with the absolute value piece. All right, our last one. I'm going to ask the same question I've asked every time. Is the absolute value by itself? No. Sarah, what do I need to do to start the absolute value isolation process? Excellent. Minus 20. That gives me 4 absolute value, x plus 5, equals negative 20. Same question. Is the absolute value by itself? No. What do I need to do to get it by itself? Divide by 4. So everyone, divide by 4. What's left on the left side?
Absolute value x plus 5.
What's left on the right side?
Negative 5.
Okay, here's my question. How many numbers are negative 5 units away from 0?
None. 2.
I heard none, I heard 2, both from the same person.
None.
How many numbers are negative 5 away from 0?
Gosh, doesn't make sense.
I know it doesn't make sense. Flip your paper over. How many numbers are a negative distance away from anything?
It's no solution.
Yes, thank you, Anthony. It is no solution. Now, you can't just start a problem and write, oh, it's negative, no solution. Because there could be scenarios where this happens. For example, this is a problem like is on one of the practice problems that you have today. It starts like this. Negative 3 absolute value equals negative 12. If you don't pay attention closely, you're going to think absolute value equals a negative. But is the absolute value by itself? What do you have to do first? When you divide by negative 3, what happens? Now is it possible? So when do you evaluate? When do you analyze absolute value? When it's what? By itself. If it's a positive, like it was over here on example 8, split into 2 parts. If it's a negative, like it was in example 9, stop. And Annalise, don't go any further, write no solution. And this right here becomes your work supporting your answer. Okay? When the quiz is done, we're going to work on this. My last stop period had maybe 5 to 10 minutes to work on it, so you shouldn't have too much homework.